Welcome to the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 107 of The Joy of Coding. My name's Mike Conley. It's another beautiful day here in Mozilla land. I'm actually in Toronto, but just in general, things are going pretty good, and I'm excited to hack on some Firefox stuff with you today. So let's not beat about the bush. Let's get to it. Here's my screen. And here's the agenda, right? Okay, so I haven't actually, once again, I've kind of failed to fill this out fully yet. So I'm gonna, it kind of says at the top, no plan survives breakfast. There isn't even really a plan, and so it won't survive, pre-breakfast either. But no plan survives breakfast. I'm making this all up as I go. This is not a pre-scripted show, really. Like, I have sort of a sense of what I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be basically what you're going to be watching is me attacking problems as I would if I were working on them at my desk. So I'm trying to capture the real engineering experience. So no plan survives breakfast. Things could go horribly wrong, and that's okay. So first of all, quick check. Is everything working? Yeah, you can hear me. I'm recording. I'm not dropping packets. Fantastic. Before we get into it, I want to mention that this agenda that we're looking at here, this kind of not a plan, is available to you as a viewer. If you are watching this on Air Mozilla, scroll down to the additional links section. There's a link to it. There's also a link to rate the episode, so you can let me know what you thought or give me feedback, things you'd like to see, things you'd like to see less of, etc., etc. That's in the additional link section down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out the video description, because the links that I just talked about are there. On Facebook, it's in a pinned comment, and if you're on Twitch, you find folks on Twitch, I'm going to paste a link to the agenda in the chat right now, and here is a link to the rate this episode form. It's now in the chat. Bam! There we go. So what are we doing today? Great question. So first of all, a quick update. Oh, I should mention that there is an episode guide as well. This is something that I haven't received too many pull requests for yet, but who knows, maybe you'll be inspired to help. Basically, we have this episode guide here, which is completely run by the viewers. I've like started it by adding a README and a license and a git ignore and a couple of folders. And feel free to send me pull requests if you have notes, if you want to just like copy the agenda into a markdown page, if you have your own notes, links, maybe stuff you want to include that you think is useful for an episode that other people who are watching the series might enjoy, send me a pull request. I will happily merge your stuff. I am very liberal about accepting pull requests to this repository, so please do send it my way. So a quick update, I want to bring up something that we were working on a couple weeks back, which was a test to test the location bar and how many synchronous reflows occur whenever we use the location bar. Whenever you open a new window and we type in a search like Mozilla, like seeing all those results come up, that happened pretty fast on my fast developer machine here, but on slower machines, depending on the behavior of the browser at the time that you're doing, or like what the state the browser's in at the time that you cause the drop down to open, things can get kind of slow. And that's because we do some synchronous layout flushes when we open that thing up. And so we want to make sure that we don't add new ones. We want to try and remove them as best we can. So I've added, oh, and it got backed out. Backed out for test failures. So I had landed this an hour ago, and it got backed out for test failures. What happened? Unused expected reflow on Linux. I should take a look at the push. How did this happen? No, I pushed to try. How did this happen? That's too bad. Filter, show only failures. This one too. That one failed. Linux 64 debug. That's crazy because I was pretty sure. Unless like the reflow got fixed somehow. Maybe it did. Maybe there's just. So that's the thing might want to look at today. Maybe the reflow got fixed by some other patch that landed in the meantime. So I'm gonna pull these patches down and try it on a fresh build of Mozilla Central. Let me sign into beast mode. And where am I? In Mozilla Central. So I'm going to strip out, hang on, let me make that window a bit bigger. You can see what's going on. I'll change the font. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, these are the commits. I've got some commits on top that were my like working commits. I'm going to actually strip them out or prune them off. Tip prune-r that to tip. I'm also going to check out Central. Then I'm going to pull. Oh, there was a merge there. I'm going to go back to where I was, R44502. I must have had some like change. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to shelve that for now. Shelve. That's related to a bug that we're probably going to look at shortly. But first I want to look at this reflow test thing. So update to Central. And I'm going to pull the latest Central and update to it. And we're going to build it. That's too bad. So how many? So this one, I got a failure on Linux 64 debug. I got a failure on Linux 64 opt. So opt and debug. And I don't see one there for OS X. Are there any where it passed? Were there any ones that where it didn't completely fail? I think I disabled it for OS X debug, didn't I? Location bar reflow. Maybe it was this one. Sometimes one of the things that's kind of frustrating is that you don't know what chunk, these are different chunks, BC 1 through 7, what chunk a test ran in. So no, not in there. And sometimes certain chunks don't run because like we just kind of, it's a little staggered so that we can save on build machine time. Okay, well, it at least failed on Linux, so hopefully I can reproduce there. So I've pulled from Central. I am now going to also pull from one of the things that landed on Central that's kind of I rely on is this other patch. Sorry, I went to the wrong place. I'm gonna show only the M. Conley ones. Can I do that? Author. Does that work? No. So if I click on my name, that should filter out. This is what I want. I want to graft this this change set because it's kind of a dependency. It's not kind of a dependency, it is a dependency. So I'm going to import this change set for now. That hasn't been backed out, so that's good. But I need it, so import that. And then I'm going to pull these changes down and rebase them on top. See if I can get our failure to reproduce on my beast mode machine. Now I'm going to open a can of pop, which is what we call fizzy drinks in Canada. I'm not sure what you call them around the world. I know in the States they call them soda or soft drinks. In Canada it's usually just called pop. Alright, so now I'm going to rebase 44769 onto, or hang on a second, hg log f tip. The changes I want are these three. Rebase R to tip, dest to wherever I am, that's the dot. What? What failed? I want to know more about what failed just now. That should have worked. Why didn't it work? No, not rebasing. Cleanup has no successor. I'm gonna HG rebase abort. So rebase abort now. It's saying not rebasing cleanup comment. Florian, it has no successor. What does it mean it has no successor? I don't know what to do about that. It has no successor. Mercurial has no successor. Marks obsolete with no successors. Is it has been marked like obsolete or something? What? Alright, well, if that's the case, then, well, let's just try rebasing one of them, maybe. Let's just rebase this one. This is revision such and such. What's the revision? Rebase R dest current. Not rebasing that one because it has no successor. Can I force it? Not rebasing it. It has no successor. Oh. Interesting. Can I graft it then? I'll just graft it. Fine. Whatever. I'll graft it. Now what's the tree look like? Okay. So now the next one to graft is 7629, and then this last one. So we should be up there now, and now graft that. And now let's build it. I have no idea. My mercurial foo, I guess, is not smart enough to understand. My brain does not understand why there's no successor or something. I do not understand. Anyway, we're going to build that and see what happens. That shouldn't take too long, maybe a couple of minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to... So that's a little disappointing. I originally started hoping this was going to be a success story, adding a test to this thing. Landed and bounced. What is going on? So now I'm running this on beast mode, and that's been bounced from integration. I can take that off. And so that's currently happening. So the other thing I wanted to look at, I mentioned this whenever I tweeted about the episode today, is that I wanted to look at a scroll bug. So one of the things that we're trying to do is reduce the number of synchronous reflows. That's kind of like the location bar test that I'm writing helps us to avoid adding new ones. We also want to try and get rid of ones that we currently have. So let's see. Wow, where am I going with this? So there's one type of reflow. I've got this tool here called Oh No Reflow that will measure and detect different reflows. And one of the things that we've noticed is that whenever the tab strip is overflowed, we reflow a lot. Look, 45, 48, we're getting these reflows occurring, and every time, many times whenever we open tabs. And if you look at the report, a lot of the time that's because we're setting these scroll positions, and that's this bug that I'm thinking of working on right now. That's the one I'm assigned to. And the way we're going to get around that is, I mean, this animation actually, the tab scrolling animation, is kicked off, it's done actually using request animation frame, and then on each animation frame we set the left or the right on the scroll box element to like scroll it the right way. Like we scroll it manually using JavaScript, and there's something called the CSS Smooth Scroll API, or I don't know if it's an API, but we have smooth scrolling capabilities that we want to use instead, and that allows us to avoid layout flushing, because whenever you set scroll left or scroll right, we do a layout flush. And so there was a patch that Timothy Nickel and Dow Gottwald wrote that does this, but it fails a test. I've been handed the patches. I want to figure out what's going on here. There's a test failure on something called, what was this bug? This one. Browser overflow scroll. So that's what I was hoping to look at today. We'll look at that failure. So what's my local tree at? I've got beast mode cooking, but what's my local tree on this machine looking like? Do I have it checked out? No, unfortunately. So that means we're going to have to get the patches and build them. Okay, so we'll do that. Update our, do we have any changes in the working directory? Let's find out. Nope, so central, and then I'm going to pull down these two patches. Now I'm actually going to make sure I haven't done this before on this machine. Is there another place where I've used? No? Okay. So import bz, import that. I'm gonna ask for one. I think you're supposed to be able to like import both at the same time, but I don't think it worked last time I tried it. So, and beast mode's almost done. We're linking now, so that's good. All right, so we've imported the patches for smooth scroll, and now I'm going to build that locally. Ba-bam. Okay. So we're done here. We're going to see if this test passes now. I have to do this. So I have a VNC server running that allows me to, on display 1, because we need a display to put this on. I can't run this test in headless mode, unfortunately, or I haven't actually tried, but let's content test performance browser URL bar search reflows. And let's see what happens. Does the test fail like it did in automation? If so, that's actually really interesting because it means someone removed a reflow, which is good. And why is this taking so long? Normally this test doesn't take so long to start up, so let's see what beast mode's doing on display 1. Huh. I guess it doesn't really work on that display. Let me try. Does it work with headless? No. How am I gonna do this? Actually, what I might do, am I able to connect to display 0? I'm guessing probably not, but no. So, how do I... The VNC server wasn't very happy with that URL bar opening thing. What I'd really like to do is unlock display 0. Okay, here's what I'm actually gonna do. I'm gonna run to my desk and unlock display 0. That's the default display, and it's probably got the lock screen up. I'm gonna unlock that, and then I'm going to, or is there a way I can just like remote desktop Ubuntu display 0? How to connect to? I usually leave as a not possible for already existing Windows. That's just X11 VNC. Just waiting. How to access a running remote desktop? Install X11. So maybe I could do this. All right, let's give that a shot. X11 VNCs. Get VNC. Do it. VNC. Store. Password. Wants a VNC password. Let me just hide that from you real quick. What I'm doing. Hang on, I gotta come up with something good here. Okay. I guess it didn't matter that I hid that window. It didn't. The characters didn't come out. But and then run it. Okay. So now let's try logging in. VNC viewer 0. Refused. And why was that? Display, open display failed. Didn't like it. There was an xlib error with details. None. Alright, well let's try display 2. Will that work? Did it like that? X open display failed. Well, alright, in that case, you can explicitly... I'm really not interested in debugging that any further, so what I'm going to do is run over to my machine, unlock the screen, and disable the lock screen so that we can continue to use it. And in the meantime, I'm going to run this test locally, the scroll one, to see if it fails here on my OS X machine. I think it should. So let's see, monkey test. So you can watch this this test run. I'm going to run to my desk and unlock the desktop, and then we can use display 0. Okay, I'll be right back. guys, sorry about that. That was probably super boring. But yeah, the test failed. That's what we expected there. And I've unlocked display 0, so we can use that instead. And hopefully the test will run. The URL bar reflow one. There we go. Running. Hey! Hey, that's great. We do have some reflows there. Rebuild. Unused. It was supposed to be hit 1 more time. It was supposed to be hit 9 more times. So I wonder if someone changed something recently. Handle. There was supposed to be a reflow at handle overflow in autocomplete.xml. Let's see if that's been changed recently. Was it changed in the last little while? Not really. No. So I don't know why those. But we can get rid of them certainly. So browser-based content test, performance browser URL bar, search reflows, and then we're supposed to get rid of. Now, when did those reflows that we expected to happen not happen? Because there are 2 passes. There's like when we first open the URL bar, and then when we open it again. Okay, well, let's try removing it from the second one. So enable or disable one-off searches. It's supposed to be hit 1 more time. So this was this bug, and now it's only 1 as opposed to 2. This hasn't been fixed recently, so I don't know why that's different, but okay. And then this one down here is handle overflow. Validate, reuse, AC. This one. I think it's this one. This one or the other one. 44 or 399. Let's change this one. This was 444. Let's remove 9, so that's 435. Let's see if that makes that happy. And then rebuild. So pop-up open. This one. This is still a sign. I don't know how it would have gotten fixed, but okay. Let's get rid of this one. See what happens. I wonder if there's some like OS specific reflows. Oh, okay, that's even worse. Okay. Unexpected, handle overflow, unexpected. When did those happen? Test pass, test unexpected fail. So it happened in handle overflow. Reuse AC item. So how many failures did I get there? 10. And is that consistent? I saw a 10 go by. So maybe that 430, was it 335? How many was it? 435 is wrong. Let me crank this up and see what numbers it spits out next. 440. Maybe I did my math wrong. That's possible. Okay, 5 failures left, so then we add 445. And now it's saying that there are 2 unused. Or wait, this one was supposed to be hit 9 more times. Oh, I think 444. It's the other one that I need to decrease. So make this 390. Is that going to satisfy? Okay, that's a pass. Let's run that repeatedly. Run until failure. See if there's like a race in here or anything. So I'll run that a bit. Let's see if we can have it fail a couple times. Meanwhile, locally we got this scroll thing to fail. And I already know part of the bug, or at least I think I do, which is that scroll, was it browser? No, scroll box.xml. There's this scroll by index. And if we make this start scroll, it was stop scroll, wasn't it? If not scroll index, I think, if I remember correctly when I was dealing with this yesterday, we needed to put this back, if not smooth scroll. And, or not this dot smooth scroll. And we return. So we got 1088, we expected 1188. Let's see what happens now when we run this. I expect this number to change somewhat. Ugh. Build, toolkit, content. Come on. Pure function call. Ugh, you know what? I think it did not like the fact that a build faster failed. So I have to run build again. It's lame. This is pretty compelling over here. I've been running this test like a bunch of times. This URL bar one, and it hasn't failed yet. So I'm going to push that to try. I'll push up the changes to the bug and then push the patch to try. Come on, build. What are you waiting for? I'll play some sounds while we're waiting for it to build.
I can't do my work.
You are?
That's right.
It's me, Mario.
Doing a drumroll end because that test ran a bunch and did not fail once, which was great. That gives me a high degree of confidence that it's not going to fail in automation. So we just needed to make these adjustments strangely. So make automation happy. That's what I'll commit here, and then I'm going to push to try. I'm going to say both. Use artifact builds. Linux. We'll do all the ASAN. No, let's not do ASAN. We'll do Linux 64, OS X, Win32, Win64, and then we're going to ask for the browser Chrome tests, because that's what's going on here. Artifact build. So hopefully this won't take too long. Push to try. Go, go, go. And this other thing ran. What was the failure? It was like 1188. It expected 1080 or 1188, and it didn't get what it wanted. What? It passed. Amazing. That's, I thought there would be more to it. Incredible. Let's run this thing. Let's see what it looks like. And try out its behavior. So really what we're talking about here is when the tab scrolls. This scrolling behavior. Double click seems to send you right to the end. But one at a time. That's nice. Now let's install Oh No Reflow and see if we can detect reflows, and if we've so I've got Oh No Reflow running. We're gonna make it care about all reflows and enable. Wait a second, it's not working properly. I better make sure that it's up to date. Whoops. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. Reflow, find updates. Yep, I need an update, find updates. Okay. So notice, I don't know if you can see that, but that number is not, it escalated once whenever I did that just now, but it was because on XBL wheel, not on the stack we were seeing before, which was what, like set scroll position. So it's different. That's good, and it doesn't happen every time. Like that number is not going up right now. Whoop. So scroll size happens here. (24, 25). So what's nice is that there's like a consistent 29, 30, 31. There's like a consistent reflow occurring here that we might be able to get rid of down the line. This set scroll size when we select the tab. But that's really nice. This is all smooth scrolling now in the tab strip, which is nice. Okay, so that's good. I'm pretty happy with that. So before I deal with that, I want to, for reals, push this to automation. In order to do that, I have to use my key. Big old password for my Mozilla SSH identity, and then push that to try. Now I got this message from Twitch. RW Grim is auto-hosting me. Thanks, RW Grim on Twitch. I don't even really know what that means, but okay. I don't even know if I have any viewers on Twitch right now. Let's take a look. Is anyone even watching this? Let me look. Hard for me to tell. I don't know how Twitch works. 6 viewers! There are 6 of you. Hello! I had no idea. Good to see you. Well, I just pushed some stuff to automation. Hopefully you enjoy that. So we're going to get some answers, hopefully, on whether or not we can try repushing this stuff to Autoland and get it into the tree, these URL bar tests. In the meantime, it feels like, miraculously, this scrolling patch was really simple. I'm actually going to add a new commit, fix browser overflow scroll test. I'm also going to push this to try. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to try build. I can't do an artifact build, but I'm going to do everything, both debug and opt. Because I'm changing how some scrolling stuff works, I'm going to build Android, not 4.2. I guess I don't even really know which ones of these. Well, I might as well do them all. Win32, Win64. We'll do some static analysis. Valgrind, why not? Stylo. And then we're going to run all these tests. We're going to just run every test suite that we can think of. Whoops. So push to try. A CSS smooth scroll in tab strip. Now I have 9 viewers on Twitch. What the deal? Who are all of you people? This is amazing. Let me play a sound for you. Or even better.
That's right.
Or brace yourselves. This might be a little loud. Cool. Really pleased to have you joining me here. So that was actually more interesting than I thought, or less interesting than I thought. This scroll position thing, I expected that to take a lot longer. But what we can do now that we have a potential patch cooking out on try, is that one of the things that was blocking, or one of the things that this bug is blocking is the ability to write reflow tests whenever the tab strip scrolls, because the test would fail non-deterministically because it was sort of the animation was powered by request animation frame, and request animation frame is powered by the compositor. It was really like the number of reflows would change from run to run depending on how often the compositor composited, and that was not deterministic. But now that we use smooth scroll and we don't cause reflows, whenever, like for each of those request animation frames, we can get some more reliable testing going on. So I had a patch, I think, for the tab scroll case, and let's see if I can find them somewhere in my tree here. Reflow. I might actually have a bookmark. Bookmark. Reflow tests. Overflow reflow tests. Was that it? Where are those patches? Yeah, and then I screwed around. export, what is this? So it's a new test, overflow reflows, and then what do? Create a bunch of tabs, then I opened a tab. Okay, that sounds right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebase that onto tip. I'm going to bring this test back to life. There are probably going to be some conflicts. Meanwhile, how are things doing on try? I'm curious. Not so good, or not so well. Unknown platforms. Oh, this is not happy either. S-cache something something something. Mock build's failing me. Why? What happened in here? S-cache verbose stats is not available in this configuration. Ruh-roh. Automation problem. I might have to retrigger those later. Okay. So now I've got my overflow reflow test here. And what I really want to do actually is bring in these other reflow tests. I know that I modified them on try. I'm actually going to take these though, because the stuff that I changed was just the stacks and stuff. I'm not going to be changing the URL bar test, but I want to base all my stuff off of the URL bar test stuff. So I'm going to rebase this to this onto this. Then I'm going to rebase the new overflow test on top of the ones I just rebased, and then that's what I'll develop on, because that's going to be the closest to reality whenever this thing finally ends up landing. I don't know what to do about this. Like, stuff's still building. Unknown platforms. Some stuff's still building. Maybe I should just cancel this one and then push again in a sec. Okay, so let me try that push again, which was here. And I'm going to rebase that on top of that stuff. So let's come up with some better try syntax. Let's just all and all. Easy. Push to try everything. I know it's a little expensive, but fire everything. Okay. So that's pushing. Okay, so that's pushed. Hopefully that will be a nicer push than before. Now I'm going to rebase the test that I had written before on top of tip. So moving that up there onto the very top. Then I'm going to switch up to it, build, and then we can modify the test. I have a feeling this rebase is going to have some conflicts actually, and that's okay. Yeah, some conflicts inside head, which is fine. That's how I want to do it. So mark it resolved. Hopefully you can, let me pump up the font again. You can see the stuff. Rebase, continue. Who are you mysterious 11 viewers on Twitch? That's what I want to know. These 11 people, so quiet. What's up? What's up, folks? I'm so glad you're here.
It's me, Mario.
I'm so pleased to have you hanging out with me and watching me hack on Firefoxy things. Check out, so there are 2 links for the people who are on Twitch. Maybe you joined late. There are 2 links in the chat. Those links, one of them is the agenda, which will link to a couple of the bugs that I'm working on and kind of give you access to other chat things and links to things that I find interesting, like other live coding for Mozilla stuff. There's also a glossary in case I'm using some terms that you're not familiar with. I haven't updated this in a while. I should probably start updating this. I haven't said eteness or kapow in a while. And this patch, or this bug, I should probably update this with the thing I'm working on right now, which is scroll. No, not that one. Not that one, sorry. It's this one. No, it's not. It's this one. This is the bug that I'm working on. This is going to go into the agenda so that you can follow along. But the other thing I want to point out is that there is a form. The second link is a form that will let me know what you think of this series, this episode in particular, and I will happily accept feedback if there's stuff you think I could do better. I'm happy to hear it. So that's fixed. There's still an ESLint failure. That's okay. I'll deal with that down the road. But here in the notes for this bug, this build's almost done. Okay, that build's done now. So now I should be able to run mock, Moki test, browser-based, content test, performance, browser, what was it? Tab, open to overflow reflows. Now let's open that test up. Browser, tab open to overflow reflows. I've actually updated the structure of how these stacks are defined, so I can do this. Stack, and then times. How many times do we expect that? 1, 2, 3 times. So we can get rid of this. Set scroll position. All of the set scroll positions can go away. Set scroll position. I think they can go away. Let's just let's get rid of all of the reflows actually. This might be easiest is if I just say there are no expected reflows and then see what we get. And with Reflow Observer, I just have to remember what's the API with Reflow Observer, expected reflows, and then the window. And I don't need to do that thing anymore, thankfully. Um, so let's run that test. See what happens. I'm expecting there to be failures, that's fine. I'm expecting there to be a consistent set of failures. That's what we're looking for here. If it fails consistently with the same number of reflows each time, that's what I would consider like a success. Failed because tab count max is not defined because this test infrastructure has changed slightly. Okay, so I should be doing like compute max tab count. How have I done this in other tests? Tab open squeeze. Oh, yeah, that's what I do. Okay. Const tab count for overflow. Let's see what happens now. Okay, 11 failures. That's good. Wait, there was also like remove all but original tab not defined. And that was also like a consistent number of failures. That's nice. So the first thing is that remove all but original tab is undefined because I think I renamed that to remove all but first tab to overflow. Now I should probably do this async function, and we're going to replace all of our yields. Hang on, I can do this. There's a way I can like choose multiple. There you go. There you go. Man. Alright, search and replace. Find. We're going to replace yield with a weight. Replace them all. Alright. And remove all but first tab, right? That was the name of it? Remove all but first tab. Okay, so let's run that again. One failure, so there's one reflow here. I can work with that. Overflow. Stack. Just like that. And then we're going to just get rid of all these numbers. There's a way for me to do this. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. I can probably like select a bunch of these. This is going to be a little bit weird. Ready? A boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. I just have to make sure I'm not at the max. I think I'm at the max for some of them. Okay. So now I can just get rid of that, that, and that, and I took out too much of that, and we're done. Okay. So hopefully this should now pass. And then I should be able to run this repeatedly and have it pass as well. So run until failure. Looking good. Just gonna wait for that to do its thing. It usually runs at about 30 times. I'm pretty confident now that there's not going to be an intermittent failure. I mean, just look at this. Look how smooth. Look at it go. And if that works, then I'm going to put this up for review. Hey, looking good. So let's take a look at what we've got. This is how we changed the patch. I got rid of a bunch of stacks. I changed it to use await and the right things, so I'm going to amend the commit.
Oh, yeah.
Now I can actually do the opposite as well while I'm at it. Tab open to overflow, and then we can modify this. Expected overflow reflows. Const expected underflow reflows. Make that empty. Create tabs. We wait until one's done, and then we're like, okay, let's get rid of one now. G browser tabs. G browser selected tab. We're going to say browser await browser test utils.remove tab. That. And then we're going to do that again, but inside a reflow observer. Wait for event tab switch done. Wait. Remove tab, and we need to animate it. Browser test utils.jsm. Remove tab. Options. Animate true. Let transition promise equal that. Oh wait, transition promise. And then we're going to say that was expected overflow reflows, expected underflow reflows. Let's see what happens now when we run that. We'll just run it the one time instead of multiple times. Passed. Amazing. That's crazy. I did not expect that. Like, await, promise, new promise. Let's make sure that this is working as we expect. Let's wait a second, see what it looks like before and after. opens, overflows. Huh. That's actually not what I expected. We need to go to the underflow case, so let's do it that way. So removing that one tab causes it to underflow. We don't have to remove two, which is interesting. Okay. Oh, I'm not actually overflowing. That's the other thing. Hold up. Hold up. Look. Check it out. Our assumption before was wrong. And the tab strip is not overflowing. It's full. We have to open it. I think we have to open yet another tab in order to cause it to overflow, like that. So let's do, oh, tab count, compute +1, yo. Or tab count for overflow is compute max tab count. So it's the normal max. So let's see what that does. Good. So we overflowed. Then we underflowed. Okay, so now we have some failures. Let's just deal with the overflow case. And then we'll work with the underflow case. So I made a mistake the first time. I'm glad we caught that. Want to test the right thing. I also want to make sure that the scroll stops. Does the scroll box have like a scroll end, scroll finished, or smooth scroll finished event? Smooth scroll, CSS smooth scroll, scroll into view, events. Where's the smooth scroll? CSS smooth scroll finished event. I'm looking for an event. Is there like a smooth scroll? What? HG? Or, sorry, what? WG? I should say. Scroll behavior. I spelled that wrong. Scroll behavior though. Smooth, auto smooth. User default platform conventions, if any. Scroll finished event. Oh. What has been scrolled? Scroll stop event. Is that? New custom event. Oh, it uses a timeout. Oh boy. Alright, well. Let's put this in here for now. Stack this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's 2:14. I'm gonna call this episode soon. I have a meeting at 2:30, so hopefully we can get this test working as expected and passing. Should probably get rid of that timeout. That's not helping us move fast. We have 5 failures. Get scroll position, or set scroll position again. Oh, that's slightly different. Set scroll position. Oh, you know what? I can just copy all of that, or replace that, and then what else? Unexpected. Set scroll. Get scroll size again. Oh, on a slightly different signature. So get scroll size. Ensure element is visible on handle tab select on handle new tab XBL transition end. Whoops. And another one, set scroll position on XBL transition end. So something like that, except set scroll position. So let's see how many times that fails. All right, 2 left. Update scroll buttons. And then this one again. So twice. We expect that one twice. Pass. All right, now let's run until failure. See if we can ensure that this is going to run deterministically, or at least deterministically for our purposes. It's not ever super deterministic, this browser. Aha! Sometimes this one doesn't fire. Update scroll button disabled state. Interesting. So what triggers that? I might have to special case on the set timeout. There's a set timeout where in simple test set timeout, update scroll box disabled state. Scrolled to end. If has attribute. Maybe I should do that. await browser test utils, wait for condition. Scroll box. G tabs container dot scroll. Scroll box. What was that? Scrolled to end. Scrolled to end. On the tab browser.xml. Scroll box. Arrow scroll box can scroll element that scroll box click scroll button down. Okay, and then so the tab browser arrow scroll box is on the tab browser tabs. It's called m tab strip. So g browser dot tabs tab container dot m tab strip is the scroll box, and so scroll has attribute scrolled to end true. Okay, good. So I can work with that. Wait for condition. G browser tab container return that. So we're going to wait until that timeout's fired before we exit the reflow test. That's giving us some more. So 2, and then transition end unused expected reflow. Run until failure now. The fact that I saw those failures and then they suddenly disappeared doesn't fill me with too much confidence. Let's see. Update scroll bar, disabled state. It was unused. Wait for it to have scroll to end. And then maybe we should wait. Scroll to start. Is that what's called scroll to start? Yeah. Oh. Browser test utils, remove tab, G browser, selected tab. Still not good enough. Update scroll bar disabled state was not used. And the ones, so there's the timer, there's a request animation frame and a timer. I wonder if I should not just wait for that attribute to be set, but also wait for new promise, resolve, when request idle callback, so that we know that all timers have been fired. And I should put this back to 2 now. Not good enough. Not good enough. How about await new promise resolve window dot request animation frame, and then idle callback. Nope, not good enough. Is it possible? Does something disable the what the update scroll box to XML? That's where I'm at. Set timeout. Oh, maybe it's running, but the frame tree is not dirty. Oh no. Set timeouts are tricky. What I could do is like window dot request animation frame equals let old RAF equal window dot request animation frame equals callback dirty frame callback. Oh, wait, no. Old RAF is what I want to do. And then that. Yeah. And then I can do the same thing for set timeout. Not amazing, but let's see. Old set timeout equal window dot set timeout. Callback. Time. Old set timeout. Dirty frame. Callback. Window dot set timeout equals old set timeout. Window dot request animation frame equals old RAF. Let's see what that does. No, still doesn't like it. Alright. Oh. It's supposed to be hit twice, but it didn't happen. Dirty frame callback. Well, we shall see. Wait. Let's do this one more time. I'm going to tell people I'm going to be a little bit late. Show me failure. All right. All right, well, I'm going to have to figure out what's going on later. Or wait, hang on, let me try one more thing. Register, or, yeah, register cleanup function. It hates it. Okay. Well, I'll have to come up with something else. But I'm going to stop this episode here. Thank you so much for watching The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. I hope you enjoyed episode 107. Do rate this episode if you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, you want to give me some feedback, do let me know. I read every single comment that comes in. Check the video description wherever it is, or the Twitch chat if you're on Twitch, for a link on how you can rate this episode. Really appreciate you watching. I will see you next week, hopefully. Take care. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.